everybody. How are you today? This is one of my favorite authors, Dr. Seuss, and I love the story Yertle the Turtle. So I'm going to read it to you. And here we go. On the faraway island of Salmasand, Yertle the Turtle was king of the pond. A nice little pond. It was clean. It was neat. The water was warm. There was plenty to eat. The turtles had everything turtles might need, and they were all happy, quite happy indeed. Sounds like a nice place to live. They were, until Yertle, the king of them all, decided the kingdom he ruled was too small. "I'm ruler," said Yertle, "of all that I see. But I don't see enough, that's the trouble with me. With this stone for a throne, I look down on my pond, but I cannot look down on the places beyond. This throne that I sit on is too low down. It ought to be higher," he said with a frown. "If I could sit high, how much greater I'd be. What a king! I'd be ruler of all I could see." So Yertle the Turtle King lifted his hand, and Yertle the Turtle King gave a command. He ordered 9 turtles to swim to his stone, and using these turtles, he built a new throne. He made each turtle stand on another one's back, and he piled them all up in a 9-turtle stack. And then Yertle climbed up. He sat down on the pile. What a wonderful view! He could see almost a mile. Look at that. "All mine!" Yertle cried. "Oh, the things I now rule! I'm king of a cow! I'm king of a mule, I'm king of a house, and what's more beyond that, I'm king of a blueberry bush and a cat. I'm Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous me, for I am the ruler of all that I see." And all through that morning he sat there up high, saying over and over, "A great king am I," until long about noon he heard a faint sigh. "What's that?" snapped the king, and he looked down the stack, and he saw it at the bottom, a turtle named Mac, just a part of his throne. And this plain little turtle looked up and he said, "Beg your pardon, King Yertle. I've pains in my back and my shoulders and knees. How long must we stand here, your majesty? Please?" "Silence!" the king of the turtles barked back. "I'm king and you're only a turtle named Mac. You stay in your place while I sit here and rule. I'm king of a cow and I'm king of a mule. I'm king of a house and a bush and a cat. But that isn't all. I'll do better than that. My throne shall be higher," his royal voice thundered. "So pile up more turtles. I want about 200. "Oh no, turtles, more turtles," he bellowed and brayed. And the turtles way down in the pond were afraid. They trembled, they shook, but they came, they obeyed. From all over the pond they came swimming by dozens, whole families of turtles with uncles and cousins, and all of them stepped on the head of poor Mac. One after another they climbed up the stack. Then Yertle the Turtle was perched up so high he could see 40 miles from his throne in the sky. "Hooray!" shouted Yertle. "I'm king of the trees, I'm king of the birds, and I'm king of the bees. I'm king of the butterflies, king of the air. Ah, me, what a throne, what a wonderful chair. I'm Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous me, for I am the ruler of all that I see." Then again, from below, in the great heavy stack, came a groan from that plain little turtle named Mac. Your Majesty, please. I don't like to complain, but down here below, we are feeling great pain. I know up on top you are seeing great sights, but down at the bottom, we too should have rights. We turtles can't stand it. Our shells will all crack. Besides, We need food. We are starving, groaned Mac. You hush up your mouth, howled the mighty King Yertle. You've no right to talk to the world's highest turtle. I rule from the clouds, over land, over sea. There's nothing, no, nothing that's higher than me. Whoa. But while he was shouting, he saw with surprise that the moon of the evening was starting to rise up over his head in the darkening skies. What's that? Snorted Yertle. Say, what is that thing that dares to be higher than Yertle the king? I shall not allow it. I'll go higher still. I'll build my throne higher. I can and I will. I'll call some more turtles. I'll stack them to heaven. I need about 5,607. But as Yertle the Turtle King lifted his hand and started to order and give the command, that plain little turtle below in the stack, that plain little turtle whose name was just Mac, decided he'd taken enough, and he had. And that plain little lad got a little bit mad, and that plain little Mac did a little plain thing. He burped. And his burp, it shook the throne of the king. And Yertle the Turtle, the king of the trees and the king of the air and the birds and the bees, the king of a house and a cow and a mule. Well, that was the end of the Turtle King's rule. For Yertle the Turtle, the king of all Salamasand, fell off his high throne and fell plunk right into the pond. And today the great Yertle, that marvelous he, is king of the mud. That is all he can see. And the turtles, of course, all the turtles are free, as turtles and maybe all creatures should be. Oh, that's one of my favorite stories. I'm so glad that Mac burped. That was a good thing that he did. Froggy Goes to Camp is another book I want to read. And this year, I don't think too many boys and girls have got to go to camp. But when I was young, every summer, Grandma got to go to camp in Michigan, and it was wonderful. So Froggy Goes to Camp. It was summer. Froggy woke up and jumped on his bed. Boing, boing, boing. He was so excited, he bumped his head on the ceiling. Bonk! And he fell down. Froggy! Called his father. What? Up and at 'em. Today's the day you go to camp, run amok. Oh, that sounds like fun. Froggy hopped out of bed and got dressed. Zap, zip, zoop, zup, zut, zut, zut. And he flopped into the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. Have you got everything? Asked his mother. Of course, said Froggy. Let's go, said Dad. And off they went. Oh no, cried Froggy an hour later. I forgot my sleeping bag. Oh, Froggy, groaned Dad and turned the car around. 2 hours later. Oh no, cried Froggy, I forgot my bathing suit. Oh, Froggy, groaned Dad and turned the car around. By the time they got to Camp Runamuck, it was sunset. I don't know anybody here, cried Froggy. I want to go home. Come meet your bunkmates, dear, Mom said. Welcome to Camp Runamuck, said Jordan, his counselor, and led them to Froggy's cabin. It was named Wildcats, but his bunkmates were the 2 toad twins and an otter named Yasha. Yasha was nice. He let Froggy have the top bunk. Look, said Mom, there's your principal, Mr. Mugwort. He is the camp director. Great, said Froggy. Not. By this time his parents waved goodbye and the moon was rising over Lake Winnemucca. At sunrise, a bugle blasted. Da 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 da. Last one up, said Yasha, gets tickled with a feather duster. Froggy was the last one up. Hee hee, ha ha, ho ho. Welcome, campers, announced Mr. Mugwort. Now listen up. Today's your swim test. Tomorrow, swimmers will race to the raft on the lake at the crack of dawn. But now it was time for breakfast. Froggy had KP duty, kitchen patrol, washing dishes, preparing veggies and flies, and serving. And when he served Mr. Mugwort, 2 fried eggs slid off, right on Mr. Mugwort's head. Splat! Whoops, said Froggy. Froggy passed the swim test, of course, and later he had archery. He pulled the bow, aimed, and he let go. Twang! And he hit Mr. Mugwort's bottom. Thwap! Whoops, said Froggy. On Tuesday, the bugle blasted. Da 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 da. And Froggy flopped down to the lake. Flop, 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 ready to race. Froggy, called Mr. Mugwort. Oh, what? You forgot your bathing suit. Froggy looked down. Whoops, he was wearing his boxers. Everybody laughed, even Mr. Mugwort. On Wednesday, they went on a big hike around Lake Winnemucca. It got so hot that Froggy said, let's jump in the lake with all our clothes on. Jordan, the counselor, did a swan dive. Yasha did a jackknife. And Froggy did a cannonball. Splash! And he got Mr. Mugwort all wet. On Thursday in the dining hall, the Toad twins yelled, food fight, and everybody joined in. Froggy threw a banana, but Yasha ducked, and it smeared across Mr. Mugwort's shirt. Smoosh! Mr. Mugwort was not a happy camper. On Friday, Mr. Mugwort asked, who knows how to paddle a kayak? He also was the kayak instructor. I do, cried Froggy. Are you sure? Yep. Froggy put on a life jacket and sat in the front. Mr. Mugwort pushed off and climbed in. Uh-oh, Froggy held the kayak paddle like a canoe paddle and dug in. Yikes! And over they went. Splash! Oops, spluttered Froggy, looking more than red in the face than green. Mr. Mugwort glared at him, then laughed and hollered, water fight, water fight! He handed out squirt guns, and they had the wildest water fight in Camp Run-Amok history. Splish, splash, sploosh! Wow, what fun. And that last night they stargazed. They told scary stories around a bonfire, and they sang camp songs like, Dear Mama Duck, Dear Papa Duck, it's fun here at Camp Run-Amok. When Froggy's family came in the morning, Mom said, how was camp, Froggy? Great. I hit Mr. Mugwort with an arrow. I smushed him with a banana and capsized our kayak. That's nice, dear. And Froggy's saying, beans, beans, the musical fruit, the more you eat, the more you toot. Ah, all the way home. I think I learned that song at camp too when I was a girl. So anyway, Froggy goes to camp. It's a lot of fun to go to camp. Sometimes at first you're a little nervous, but then it's a wonderful experience. So I hope someday you get to go to camp too. Well, that's it for now. Good night. I love you all.
Amen.